I've been asked by the Sammy boys in Trinidad to pay tribute to Donald, and we have titled this Remembering Donald. The text was written by Carl on behalf of the boys after gleaning information from them. Donald William Thiessen Sammy was born on February 22nd, 1942 at 85C Sutton Street, San Fernando. He was the second child of James Suknanan and Marian Sammy. His older brother Howard was 15 months his senior. It was evident from quite early on that this amiable and delightful child was something special. Our father said of him that he had that special quality of lighting up the place with his charm and joyfulness. He was always smiling and held that deceptive, carefree spirit which belied his more serious and grounded resolve. Later on, as the family grew and Donald was just one of the 8 boys, his unique personality stood out. One of our friends was heard to remark, "All you Sammy boys are okay, you know, but you see Donald, he is something special." Our father had one brother, William, who died in his 20s, and our mother's brother, last brother, fondly called Sabu, lived at our home for many years. From these 2 uncles, Donald inherited the magnetism and charm which endeared him to so many. With Donald, what you saw was what you got. He was authentic. He was real. No prejudices clouded his space. He was not constrained by the social niceties of political correctness. He was his own man. And this happy-go-lucky Joe was not a man without a mission. He was firmly grounded in all the virtues and requirements necessary to live a successful life. Seeing the opportunities presented by the Canadian environment in the field of electronics, he journeyed to Montreal in 1966 to pursue studies at the Averon Technical Institute, returning to Trinidad in 1967, qualified in this area of expertise, becoming gainfully employed at Huggins and Company on High Street in San Fernando. On the home front, he followed in the footsteps of Daddy and Sabu and shouldered the responsibility of overseeing the affairs of the Pinal estate. Many of Donald's friends, and I dare say followers, have had pleasant, enduring memories of the activities in the land at Pinal, as we say. Planting cocoa, salting cane, picking citrus fruits, catching fish, and so many treasured memories shall linger with us. Social outings with Donald were epic. He ensured that everyone was properly hydrated. In his later years, on acquiring his very own beach house, the Don's was indeed the Don of my arrow. "Where you going? Stand line. You always have something to do," he said. Its generosity knew no limits. As Kenny Rampisone pointed out in a post to us, with his many friends, his generosity knew no bounds. He shared himself abundantly and could always be relied on by everyone. He was a good friend to many of us. On a personal note, as his younger brother, I recall that we were together at the Naparima Girls Kindergarten with Howard and my younger brother Kenny, and this was up to 1949. We went to grant school in 1950. During the 50s, Donald demonstrated his expertise with his hands in particular. He was a champion pitcher. Marbles, that is. He was cricket. He was a kite maker, a spinner of tops, He could throw the cricket ball further than any one of us, and indeed many times when we tried to throw a ball, a softball, on the house, Donald was the only one who was able to do it. He was able to fix cars and electronics. He was unparalleled among the 8 Sammy boys in this regard. During the 1960s, he embarked on a job at Huggins and at Eric Solis, and then went to Aviron, and then returned to Huggins in 1967, where he stayed until 1973. He was their main TV man. He went back to Canada in 73. I recall, and then of course he lived there for the rest of his life. I recall Donald and I spent a beautiful week in Guyana in 2010 at number 67 Village. We will all miss him. He was the Dons himself. He was a loving, kind, beautiful brother. He was probably the best looking in all of us. I will really miss him as well as the other boys. Thank you and goodbye, Dons. We love you forever.